All right, so what are my first impressions on Final Fantasy 16 for PlayStation 5? Well, I would go as far to say that I would easily purchase a PlayStation 5 just for Final Fantasy 16. This is a next generation Final Fantasy that we've been looking for. I don't want to spoil the story, but the story it's as good as Final Fantasy 7 and as good as Final Fantasy 8. And this is something that you have to play the game to understand this. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to tell you who Clive is, who Joshua is. I don't want to tell you the Duchess of, um, Duchess Annabella. I don't want to tell you about a bunch of other characters. So you can just have to play the game to understand uh, what's going on. But trust me, this is like Game of Thrones on steroids. Like Game of Thrones on steroids with Lord of the Rings. It's pretty darn good, man. I would say that this so far, and I know this is gonna kind of be strange that you're gonna hear me say this. I would go as far as to say that this is the best looking PlayStation 5 game that I have seen. Now, even though I know it's a timed exclusive, it's not a full-fledged exclusive PlayStation 5 game, but nonetheless, it is timed exclusive, and you can only play it on PlayStation 5 this year. Maybe next year you'll be able to play it on PC, right? You cannot play it on the Xbox. You can only play it on PlayStation 5. And it looks the best, plays the best on the PlayStation 5. There's no question about that. This game was designed in mind to work the best with PlayStation 5. So let's just circle it. Okay, it's the best looking PS5 game right now that I have seen. Before we get to Spider-Man 2, of course. Um, and I don't say this lightly. Um, the combat in Final Fantasy 16, it's top notch, man. It is like so. It's almost like, how do I put this? Like, feels fluid, man. It's fluid. It's fun. It's everything. It's like, and I know I'm kind of fanboying about this game, but everything feels um, fluid and top notch. I can't find anything wrong with Final Fantasy 16. Everything is just great. Okay, I mean, I've been looking. Okay, is there anything to disappoint me here? No. Everything is top notch. No bugs. Everything's polished up. Everything is just perfect. You know, the only game that I gave perfect score was Guns of the Patriots, Metal Gear Solid 4, and this is definitely up there with Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. Just so it happens that it's being released in June, and well, late June, but still. MGS4, Guns of the Patriots, was released in June, I believe, 12th of 2008. But what I'm trying to say is that Final Fantasy 16 is top notch, dude. Everything. No bugs, no issues, 60 FPS, um, smooth as a butter. I can't really find any problems. I can't find anything to complain about here. The upgrades, the combat, everything's explained. The menus, your abilities to upgrade everything. It's the way it should be. Self-explanatory, easy to navigate. The graphics are just mind-blowing. Listen, my camera here, it's not doing it justice as to how beautiful this looks on my C2 LG OLED. You guys can go check out my previous video for the picture settings. Um, So I really, I'm really surprised as to how good this is. I didn't really think that Final 16 was gonna be this good, but my God, is it really good? And again, I wish I could talk about it. Maybe I'll do a spoiler video, in August, you know, or by the end of August, you know, so everybody can get a chance to play this. Because it's hard to talk about this game without spoiling it, you know. And I don't want to spoil the story because I want you guys to play it. I want you guys to experience this for yourselves, as you should. But you'll just have to trust me. If you haven't already got this game, if you haven't already bought it, I have rented it, but I'm definitely gonna buy it from GameFly when they, you know, cut it down for half a price. I'm definitely gonna buy it. This is gonna be the one I want to keep. It's really done well. Again, the combat system is perfect, and I don't say that like lightly. It's really good, man. Blazing 60 FPS, smooth as a butter. And you know, this is what I like to see. I like to see games like this, you know, that will surprise me. Even though I know this is a big franchise, this is Final Fantasy, so of course. But the previous Final Fantasy was a bit of a disappointment. Like Final Fantasy 15 was a bit of a disappointment, right? It was just kind of boring and But this is wow. You know, Square Enix is back on the saddle. They're back on a horseback, and they're really they're delivering. So it's really the characters are so good that you're not gonna forget them. Trust me. This one will stay with you. Like the story and the characters, as you're playing through this game, they will stay with you, and you will wanna, you know, try to push through and find out what happens next. Same thing like with God of War. You know, when you play God of War Ragnarok, you know, you want to continue to move on to see what happens next because you care about these characters. You know, and this isn't that like high quality. Same thing with Spider-Man. Such a great story, right? Same thing with Days Gone. Such a great story. So you want to continue. Um, so I mean, you need to pick this up. That's all I gotta say. You guys need to pick this game up. I highly recommend Final Fantasy 16. And you know, again, you can download demo, you can check it out, but you should definitely pick this game up and play it. So this way you will understand why I am, you know, holding the Final Fantasy 16 in such a high regards, you know. Jump through a window. The loading time, the graphics, the fluidity, everything's top notch, man. The soundtrack, I think Square Enix here, I mean, if you look at Final Fantasy 15, and you try to compare it to this, dude, it's like night and day. Final Fantasy 15 had all kinds of bugs, issues, problems. This is just perfect. I mean, really is, man. If anybody gives this game a bad score, then I don't know, dude. Then you probably don't like Final Fantasy, I guess. Or maybe you never liked Final Fantasy. But man, even if you never liked Final Fantasy, I think you're gonna enjoy this new generation Final Fantasy, and they really did a great job. And I apologize if I sound like a Final Fantasy fanboy, but once you start playing this game, you too will become Final Fantasy fanboy. There's so much in this game, from the story to the other, you know, other other things you can do, which I'm not gonna spoil here. There's so much to explore. There's so many characters to meet here, and look, just buy it. Just buy this game, all right? I know you guys gonna hate this video because I'm being such a fanboy, but I got bitten by the story. You know, this. Here's what happens for me to get pulled into a game. The story has to grab me. But not only did story grab me here, everything—the graphics, the acting, the voice, the upgrades, the combat, fluidity of the game, everything. Just it's like top notch, man. Everything is just perfect, perfect. Man, fluid, smooth. The combat system in Final Fantasy 16. It's something that you need to try out for yourself, just to appreciate how awesome the combat is. You know, I was kind of wondering, you know, how they're gonna do this, how they're gonna implement this new combat system. And let me tell you, I think they spend a lot of time like trying to implement this combat system in a best possible way, and it pays off, and it's really done well. Once you are familiar with like the combos and how to use your upgrades and potion and heal your party and the other attributes that you have, you know, Phoenix Shift and other things that can help you, you know, fight these bosses. It just becomes so much more enjoyable to play this. It really does. And then again, in terms of graphics, I mean, this is top notch, man. Different combo moves that you can do as well. Um, Smooth as a butter, as I like to call it. I mean, look at these graphics, man. Forget Elden's Ring. I mean, I'm serious. Forget, what you call it, Demon Souls and all that nonsense. And all of this in a 60 FPS, man. Look at all these combos and moves, man. It's freaking amazing. All right, I got leveled up. It is really like a Game of Thrones. You know, I would definitely call this Final Fantasy Game of Thrones because there's so much betrayal. There's so much. Whom can you trust? Whom you cannot trust? Who is loyal? Who is not? Um, but in a good way. I'm not saying that Final Fantasy 16 it's a ripoff of Game of Thrones, but it's definitely um, some similarities there. So anyway, there's gonna be a fight here. There's gonna be a fight scene. Look, I think Final Fantasy 16 is gonna be a huge hit. I think a lot of people gonna buy it. A lot of people gonna play it, and I would say that this is Square Enix getting back in the saddle. They're back. They're back. They're back in the saddle, and it's good to see that because it's been a long time coming. The previous Final Fantasies, even the Final Fantasy 13, 14, and 15 was just kind of, especially Final Fantasy 15. Not only was it boring, but it was buggy. There was a lot of bugs. This is like, hey, we're going back to the roots of Final Fantasy 16 stories. Bringing that unique story and characters that we all like and love from Square Enix, and I think they delivered on this one. And it's not just me that's saying it. A lot of people are saying the same thing. For those of you who play the demo, for those of you who are playing the game currently, I think you will agree on that. Now, some people are like, well, why is this PlayStation 5 timed exclusive? Well, Sony has a pretty good partnership with Square Enix. They always did. So this is something that's always been known. When it comes to Square Enix, Sony, they always had good relationship with Square Enix. And again, my camera, it's not doing it justice as to how awesome this looks on the LG C2 OLED. You just have to trust me that it looks really, really good. Alright, well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Go buy this game. Have fun. Enjoy it. Play it. I was right from the beginning when they showcased the Final Fantasy 16 on that State of the Play show. I was like, yeah, this is it. Yeah, I kind of had the feeling, yeah, this is the one. So go ahead, buy it, play it, enjoy it, take your time, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.